Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, Michaela is singing, which means we are back in Lobby Bar for the week of June the 15th, 2026. Brian and Michaela with you. And Michaela, how are you doing? We're still traveling. We're still far apart, across the country, checking in via the good old Zoom. But how are you doing? How are you taking in your Texas sunrises, sunsets? Is there
It's
vodka?
hard.
Let me know.
Yeah, lots of vodka. Uh, it's interesting here because normally, even in San Antonio and the whereabouts of that place, it is hotter than the sun. Usually, it's
Mm,
just warming up to like
mm-hmm.
1,000 degrees. But this last few days, we've had like a monsoon, and it's not normal. It feels like Houston because it is like 100% humidity here, and it's warm, but it's not that warm. So I think the high today is like in the 80s, which is why I'm kind of outside. However, I've gotten I don't know how many flood alerts in the last like 12 hours, and I'm not even
Well, that's
kidding.
not great.
It woke me up like 5 times. So I think it's fine. It's going fine. I'm not seeing a lot of sunsets because there's a ton of cloud cover. But I had a dream that someday I would be able to see the sunset here in Texas. And so I made this cocktail. Um,
Okay.
and also because I wanted something that was kind of like a cosmopolitan, but not quite as citrusy. I wanted something a little softer. And so that's kind of, it sounds silly, but the Cosmo was kind of my inspiration to this. But then I went and looked in the kitchen and was like, I want something a little softer, a little more luscious. So I made this
Okay.
thing that I'm calling the Sunset Blush.
You're
And
like the
I'm
you're like the Texas Miranda, I think, right now. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm excited for the Sunset Blush. I see the recipe for it right here. It looks refreshing. I had my own dose of Texas weather myself this weekend, except unfortunately that Texas weather was in New York City, which was the hottest place on the planet, I think, on the day that I was there. But we were there when the Knicks won it all, Knicks in five. Shout out to the Knicks. Like, we were in our hotel room when they won, and you could like feel like the whole city shake like when people like erupted like when they won like NYPD was like flaring like their sirens like every time like the Knicks scored like the last like 10 minutes of the game like
Oh,
it was pretty
wow.
cool. It was pretty wild scene. So yeah, I'm excited for the Sunset Blush because I am still cooling down from that trip.
All right. Well, you need to grab yourself a glass. You probably don't need a shaker tin for this, but you could put it in a shaker tin and then pour it in something. Um, but you're going to take 2 ounces of your favorite vodka or gin, either one. Nothing crazy. And I wouldn't do a flavored one. I would just do something that you like, kind of a basic, because we're going to add a bunch of stuff to it. We're going to add 2 ounces of either cranberry juice or like that ocean spray cran apple cocktail. Both of those are a good bet here. And then you're going to add an ounce of fresh pineapple juice if you can find it. If not, they Del Monte makes these beautiful little baby cans that are great because if you get like a big vat of it, you're probably not going to drink all of that in one sitting. And so it's a little bit more expensive, but then you're not wasting any if you get the little cans. Or you can make your own, which is what we had on hand, which was lovely. So you're going to take an ounce of that. You're going to put that in your glass with some ice. You're going to stir it with a little stir stick, and then you can add either lemon lime soda, like a Sprite or a Starry, or a club soda if you don't want it to be too sweet. Um, I added club soda because that's what we had on hand. And you can garnish this with like a little pineapple wedge if you have one of those. If you have like a cherry, like a maraschino cherry, like a bright candy kind of one, you can put that at the top. It gives it a really nice pop of color. This is really tasty. I like it. It's a obviously it's pink and pretty. It's kind of got this softness to it. It's not super acidic, even though you've got the cranberry in there because the pineapple kind of counteracts that, and it's very tropical. It's real refreshing. I had this dreaming that at some point I would see a Texas sunset. It hasn't happened yet, and I've been here, I don't know, a week and a half. So hope springs eternal. But yeah.
Maybe today is the day. Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the crayon apple. I think that's a good option, and I think it's going to come down to your choice of soda. If you're doing, Sprite or Seven Up or something like that, you're probably fine. If you're using club soda, I would almost recommend doing instead of like the the 100% cranberry juice, which we are big proponents of. Maybe going for some cranberry cocktail in there because you're going to want a little bit of sugar in there if you're just going with the club soda. So you can play around with the sweetness level, adjust that as needed for your own taste. But yeah, this sounds really good. This would have been great at 4 p.m. when like the real feel heat in New York City was like 104 degrees as you're walking around the concrete jungle. I could have used that, but I had a good time. So yeah, excited to have one of these. And let's talk about movies here a little bit. Not anything too crazy because it's a lot of returning big hitters. Of course, Disclosure Day takes the weekend with $44 million, followed by Obsession, Scary Movie, Backrooms, and Masters of the Universe. We're going to be talking about Disclosure Day here on the main pod, so I don't really want to get into that too much this week. I think we might be doing a video pod for that. Still ironing out those details as we're traveling around the country. Masters of the Universe, $8.6 million. I don't think that it probably is doing as well as the fine folks over at MGM Amazon Studios are hoping, but we had a really good time with it. So you haven't seen it, go check it out and then join us on Patreon, patreon.com/drinkthemovies, because we talked and did a little mini bonus episode for all of our patrons over there talking about He-Man, Grayskull, all the things. We do have a couple
All
of
the
things
things.
coming out this week that are going to probably challenge Disclosure Day. One of these is definitely going to. The first is Death of Robin Hood. It's like an A24 thing. It is directed by Michael Sarnowski, who directed Pig. That was like this indie, like A24 darling kind of thing. Starred Nicolas Cage there. He also was the director of A Quiet Place Day One, which I wasn't a huge fan of, truth be told, but we've got that coming out. Looks like it could be interesting. This one stars Hugh Jackman, Jodie Comer, Bill Skarsgård. Any interest in this weird, dark, like flip side, like alternate reality Robin Hood? And
I mean, I
I'm
love Robin Hood, so
I'm
maybe
throwing out the term reality very loosely there when it
very,
comes to
very
Robin Hood,
loosely
but
here. I mean, all of it's fake, but I think there was a person and he might have been named Robin Hood, so it's kind of that kind of loose,
there might have been a
loose
Robin and or a Hood at some point.
and it
Can he
might have
shoot
been
an arrow
800 or
through an
1200
arrow?
years
I
ago.
don't know.
Who
Maybe
knows? Who knows? The real question is was there I don't know. Yeah, was there a guy who was named Akeem who was like helping Robin Hood? That's the wrong movie. That's the wrong movie. I think I'm actually I don't know. I'm torn about this. I like the idea of it. I'm probably not going to make it out to the theater because I'm probably going to see the thing that's coming out that's going to completely erase all 1 through 4 contenders for like the top 4 movies the next week. I am surprised. I do got to say, I'm real surprised at how well Obsession is doing because it's been out for I don't know what does it say? 3 weeks now,
yeah,
4 weeks, and it's
you
still
know,
bringing in like $19 million. That's half of what Disclosure Day brought out their very first weekend. So I feel a little bad for the Disclosure Day folks because I think they were hoping for a much bigger return, and Obsession is just riding this wave. They're like, we
Obs-
had no idea how well it would do. Man, turns out make someone absolutely obsessed and crazy about you, and everyone's going to see it, you know?
there you go. Yeah, Obsession is definitely right in that wave. We still have to get out and see that. I don't think either of us have taken that in yet. So that's still on the to-do list. Disclosure Day. Like I said, we'll be talking about this week the Steven Spielberg sci-fi of it all. We also have another one coming out this week. You mentioned it's going to take over spots 1 through 5. Of course it is. If you want to go ahead and watch the Oscar Best Picture award winner. Go ahead and you can go see it this weekend. Toy Story Part 5 comes out, the fifth installment here of the Toy Story franchise. The first one comes out in 1995, Toy Story 2 in 99, and then Toy Story 3 and 4, 2010, 2019. Both of those win Best Animated Feature. The first two were not eligible because that award didn't exist yet, which we talked about on our Shrek episode. So you can go check that out. Toy Story Part 5. It's going to be the things that Toy Story does, right? It's going to make you think about being a kid. It's going to make you think about all your toys. It's going to make you cry. It's probably going to make you laugh. But it's probably going to make you cry. This is going to be sad. Is this going to be the last run for Toy Story? Who knows? Time will tell. We'll be talking about that here in a couple weeks after we get a chance to take this one in and dry Michaela's eyes with some Kleenex. Not a sponsor. Definitely should be.
It definitely should be when it comes to Michaela. Yeah, I think we have like a week. So I have to get started on rewatching all of these. Because I stopped at Toy Story 3. Yeah, that just about did me in. And then they came out with Toy Story 4 and I was like, nope. And my son was young enough where I could just kind of skip it. He didn't know the difference. But
He couldn't
now,
count to 4 yet.
I
Could
mean,
only count to
yeah,
3.
yeah. So I don't
You know,
know.
it
I
can
gotta
count
watch
all the
all
way to
these.
five. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. I don't
I
know
will
if
say
they
it
have
has
Kleenex and
inspired.
tissue. Do they have their own Texas brand of tissue? Go ahead and
They do.
go
They
ahead and
do.
seek that out.
It's bigger, as most things they think
It's the
are
size of a
here.
fitted sheet, but
It's the size of a fitted sheet, and it comes with like a red, white, and blue, like it's a Texas star on
mm,
it.
mm, mm.
Because we can't get enough of things that have the Texas flag on it here in Texas. It's quite interesting. I'm gonna send you pictures of like salt and pepper shakers and like I don't know. It's so weird. It's real strange. It's like, I mean, other states are real proud, but I didn't realize how cultish it was until I left. It's like some churches that we know about, right? Whew. Yes. But I will say that my kiddo actually he saw the preview for Toy Story 5 and he immediately was like, I think I should watch my pad less because my toys miss me. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. Um, because I didn't think that there would be enough material to talk about this or to cover these toys' lives for 5 full-length feature films. But boy,
Mm,
was I wrong, because every time they turn around, it's something new that they want to like that they cover, right? There's the kid next door who's crazy. There's the Care Bears that are terrible and want to take over the world. There's like the make your own toys that come to life, like the Spoonie one that I don't know
mm,
anything
mm.
about. And then there's this one, which is like pads, AI is taking over everything.
I
So yeah.
I think it's Forky, but Spoonie was probably left on the cutting room floor,
Oh,
potentially there. So, Toy Story Part 5, yeah, we'll be talking about that one here in a couple of weeks. What have we talked about so far? Last week we talked about Fargo. That was really good conversation. Happy birthday, Fargo. And this week, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about Disclosure Day. Over on Patreon, I mentioned Masters of the Universe. Go check that out, patreon.com/drink the movies. We appreciate our patrons so much. All right, Michaela, I'm going to let you go because you need to go see if you can track down a Texas sunset. Avoid the rain for right now. I'm still cooling off from that. Special shout to local team, the Carolina Hurricanes, Stanley Cup champs. Good job,
woo.
Hurricanes. All right. With that, we'll talk to you next week in the lobby bar.